Evening, everybody. May I just say, we seem to have a glitched field. Okay, I'm gonna have to go through this manually. Never mind. Show messages. We go up to. Right. Ah, hello, Tap. You have arrived. Finally. You managed to tap the correct link for the first time. Yeah, we're nearly there. Anyone else coming? What I have a feeling this Perry is going to start like another Oggy style thing. Well, screw it. We'll start going through it. Right, let me find P1. Right, we have got the platypus himself, Perry, in first position. We've then got Hans in second. We've got Ethan in third. Wesley doing a fantastic job in that LDR rate in fourth. I can't count. We have got Cherry, a newcomer, I believe, to tier 2. I'm not 100% sure, but wasn't here last week. Very much welcomed in here this week. We have then got the GOAT himself in 6th position. We have finally got the driver that can click on a link for the first time in a couple of weeks, Tap, in 7th. We got Pneumatic in 8th. We got there we go. Have I got the right one? Nope. We then got Turbo in 9th. We got Brummer in 10th. Good old Scotty in 11th. We've got the Chief of Spinning Out in 12th. And we got Asseldorn bringing up the rear. Pneumatic, alright, I can't pronounce shit. Let me get my camera angle. There we go. Are we all ready? I love how the chat knows what more of what's going on than I actually do. Pneumatic. Okay. Pneumatic. And right. We have got 3 red lights. 4 red lights, 5 red lights with a blue flag for some bizarre reason, and we are away. As Perry gets a good start, Ross seems to get a good start as well. Wesley doesn't seem to have gotten himself off the line at the moment. We've got a good start from Cherry, as well as we got going through the grid. Is that Pyro off a little bit, of keeping it reasonably clean through turn 1 and turn 2 so far. I'm just going to skip back to the top of the field. As we've got Wesley that's dropped down a couple of spots. Currently at the moment we've got Asadorn making up a place just there in the foreground. As we've got Perry who leads us coming into the end of Sector 1. We're keeping it clean through the hairpin, which is good to see. And I'm going to say again, that GTR livery is just magnifique. So, leading us. Is there anyone going to have a little look? Just keep an eye out right now. This is good at the camera angle. Actually, we got pneumatic Ross with having a little look up on Wesley, unable to make the move into the banked hairpin. As we are then going too wide with the two teammates at it, coming up through the S's, and Bruma gets a better off on his teammate. Keeping it clean, no one being slammed into the wall, unlike in Tier 3. As we've got Ross down into 9th position, keeping himself in the top 10. We got Pyro having a look up the inside of Asadorn. Asadorn trying to make up places, and oh my god, what has happened? Oh, hang on, I have got to watch this. Let's jump on board with Pyro himself as he's got the inside at the moment. He's got injured there. Pyro, overcorrection, my friend. He's had one shit race after another. We'll skip back up to the top of the grid with Perry in first. We've got Anton second. Cherry doing an absolute fantastic job moving up into third. Currently having a battle with Ethan. Let's have a little look at this. We got Tap doing a brilliant job bringing up the top 5 currently right now. Sorry, I was just having a little catch up with the chat at the moment. Let's have a little look back further through. We got Broma in 6th, Wesley in 7th, Ross over in 8th position. Right now, apologies, I'm just shutting my door. There we go. It is looking good for the Mercedes constructors, isn't it? Let's stay with this for another little bit before we have a little scoot backwards and see what else is going on. Is anyone going to have a look into the hairpin? Let's have a little look further back. I believe someone is back here. We've got Asadorn bringing it up to 11th place from the last position start. And we've got Scotty who's just behind, just keeping up. Let's stay with this a little bit longer before we're scooting back up the field. I'm not going to give Pyro the shamefulness of skipping over him. Let's have a little look. Coming up to lap 3, nearly halfway there of the sprint race. We got Perry in first. We got Hans slowly catching him up. We got Ethan in third. We got Cherry in fourth, and we got Tap bringing up the top 5, same as last. Fair enough, Ross. I will have a little look backwards. We got Tap in 5th, and we'll stick with this train because little birdie's just told me that there are some good battles back here, so we will keep watching as Ross is sideways coming out of turn 4. Let's stick with this for a little bit. Let's jump back to Ross actually, because the driver. I currently can't say the Irishman himself is having a go at Ross. But someone has spun back there. Who's this? Turbo. What's happened? Let's have a little look back a second. Let's have a little look what he's done to and he just drops it on his own. Oh, unlucky Turbo. Easily done. Easily done. That's very unlucky and very unfortunate. Let's skip forward a little bit and go back up to where we were. Pneumatic. As we got Ross and Pneumatic. No, Pneumatic. Having a little go at each other through the S-bends. Ross doesn't seem to quite get the exit there. He gives Pneumatic a bit of space, defends the inside line. We're going to jump on board actually on Ross's point of view. And who can break the latest? Ross has braked the latest against that Corvette. The Corvette's looking for that switchback. He's alongside currently at the moment. Going side by side up this hill. Ross gives him the space, the Corvette gives the space as well. We're not being murdered into the wall, which is good to see, unlike my tier, may I just say. Good move by the Corvette. Clean, very well respected between these two drivers. As we got Asseldorn up into 10th position. So good job from Asseldorn picking up 3 places, and he's about to have a little look at Ross as well. Potentially having a look up the inside into turn 1. He does have a look up the inside. Unlike me, he does know how to brake into turn 1. And they're still side by side going around the edge of turn 2. There's a little flash of the lights. And they're still side by side now. Ross sweeps across. Asseldorn looking for that switchback, he can't quite get it. Ross has shown him the outside of the track, which he can be on. Let's see what happens. Let's see if the Scotty can have a little look at Asseldorn. Let's just jump back and watch this. As they're side by side coming up to the S's. And Scotty bravely, I say bravely, does the better thing and backs out initially to hopefully try and get the run down here. Let's stay with this for another little bit before we jump forward. Oh, whoa, what's happened there? Oh, Scotty, he just outbraked himself a little bit going into the hairpin. That's cost him a bit, and this has left Asseldorn open to go and attack Ross. And he's a lot closer than he has been. Ross is defending the inside line. Asseldorn's been showed the outside. Ross gives him a little squeeze. And he's still at it. Going through these right-handers, and I think Ross is going to keep it for the time being. I'm just going to jump forward a little bit and see what else is going on. The Corvette's got himself a half-second time penalty. Ethan, what's happened to Ethan? Sorry, I'm just going to jump back a little bit here, if that's okay. What's happened with Ethan? Ethan, champion, the driver's champion from Tier 4 from last season, getting himself a time penalty. That's not what you want to be doing halfway through this race. And Cherry just does a beautiful move up the inside. So let's jump back forward to where we were, which was about here. There we go. See, Ethan was all the way up into 3rd. Ross, everyone just loves your ass, my friend. I mean, I can tell. So, Ethan with 3 laps to go has got some ground to make up. He's got 3 cars to overtake, so we'll keep an eye on that as we have a little look at the back through the field. As we got Wesley we've got a good run on Ethan coming out of turn 4 and going into turn 5 of the bank. the first of the banked hairpins. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on, something I'm misreading chat. Hold on. What's happened here? I just spotted a car going off. I think it was Ethan. Let's jump on board with Ethan. And let's see what happens. Oh, unlucky Ethan. I think he just took a little bit too much curb there. I'm not sure if he took a bit too much curb there. This is going to allow Turbo to overtake him. I'm going to give Turbo his reigning glory at the moment, and Turbo has done an overtake. This is a shorts highlight reel that worthy to go on YouTube, I believe, Ross. Anyway, let's jump back up the field. As we've got Ross, and now he's gained himself a bit of time from Alcedon. He's going up to chase on that Corvette of... Alright. Let's just stick with this battle for a little bit, well, I say battle, this chase for a little bit before we start looking up the field. Stay with this for just a second. Longer, right, let's have a little look through the field, see what we can find. So we've got Tap up into 4th position, we've got Cherry up into 3rd, good job from Cherry. In a Lotus-themed Ferrari, I've just noticed. Very interesting livery, I must say. Yes, you are like Checo, Ross, except for, in my opinion, you can drive a little bit better. You don't qualify out in Q1. There's nothing really going on. Hans is slowly starting to catch Perry, but Perry's doing a good job at managing that pace at the moment. I'm just looking at their lap times, and they're about the same. Perry losing a little bit and Hans gaining a bit, and then it's vice versa. That's good average, but we're here for action, not for watching death by Sunday driving. So we're going to keep looking back through the field and see if we can find anything. So we've got Bruma having a fantastic start to his sprint race all the way up into 5th. Wesley's rear tyres are shot on 3 times tyre. That's going to be interesting for the feature. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's stay back here for the time being. Let's keep an eye out on what's going on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Pyro, my friend, you're all alone. What have you done? I want to see this. Let's jump on board. What have you done? I think everything just seems to have disconnected. And huh? He's not having. Yeah, I think he's been downloading too many Xbox games onto his PS5, but enough of that. We have got a battle for the lead. We've got a battle for the lead. Finally, Perry is now under threat from Hans. Perry seems to have stretched out enough of a gap. We'll stay with this for just another second. So actually, no, we won't. We're going to skip back a couple of seconds because I just spotted something here. Ross and Manic. Now side by side, down, start, finish straight, and that Beetle is done, gone. Overtake done before turn 1. It's a good job from that Beetle, and the Beetle finally faster than something they made out of America. Let's stick with this for just a second before we have a little look back. Yep, Pyro's gone. We'll have a little look back here for a second. What's happened to Ethan? again. Right, let's I not remembered where we are. What's happened to you? This for just a second. Ethan currently in 6th position. I know we've got a couple of laps ahead to go. Beetle is underrated, yes. Did he make the same mistake again, I wonder? Let's stay with this. So Wesley having a little look going up into that sequence of corners there, and yes, he just makes the same mistake again. Takes too much curve. Ethan. Oh, Ethan. But yeah, let's jump a bit further forward. We've got one more lap to go because Ross overtook. There we go. Let's jump further forward and let's go back up to this. Up here. And stay with this for just a little bit. And see if Hans can make up any ground. Hans, being Ethan's teammate, is currently holding up the team and doing his best. So we are on the penultimate lap of this sprint race. I love the sound of that Mazda. Right, nothing's going to happen, I don't think, for this lap, so let's have a little look back. P1 and P2 have just driven off into the distance, that gaining themselves tons of time. So we've got Cherry in 3rd, Tap in 4th, we've got Brumit in 5th, we've got Wesley in 6th, we've got Ross in 7th, very closely followed by Pneumatic in 8th, Assadorn in 9th, we've got Scotty in 10th, we've got Turbo in 11th, and then bringing up the rear is the final Mazda for this race. Let's just back up a little bit. A good thing I did is we got Ross defending from Pneumatic. Pneumatic with the slight overspeed, but Ross with the inside and late braking Beetle denies the Corvette that switchback, although the charge up the hill is looking towards that Corvette. And the Corvette does hit Ross going up the hill, but it's not over yet. Ross has a little look. The Corvette doesn't defend. This is counter camera angle. We're going to jump on board, and I'm going to skip backwards actually because I didn't see that. Oh, my buttons mixed up. There we go. As Ross has a dive up the inside, up alongside before the apex, and both drivers giving each other the space, so no collisions are made. And again, unlike my tier, Ross just gives the dirt a little kiss. Now, so Dawn's having a little look as well. Might try and capitalise on this light mistake from one of these drivers. Oh, something I've missed. Something else I've missed. Sorry. We'll come back to this in just a second. What's happened with Wesley? Let's stay with Wesley for just a second, and then we'll come back to it. Yes, Cherry's made a fun. I didn't realise it was Cherry's day. Oh, Wesley, snap of oversteer. May I just say, my friend, good jump. And well done for not coming straight back on track. Well, good sportsmanship, but let's jump back forward with this. We've got a 4-car battle for currently 6th position. And Ross and Pneumatic are still at it. On to the final lap we go. And we do have an overtake for the lead, so I'm just going to stop this battle here. Let's have a little look back, because I missed that. Let's jump on board with Perry. We'll have a little look on tyres in a minute, as we got Perry and Hans going up the hill. Hans now, I spoke my words too soon, and Hans just has got better tyres. I think just gets the drive going out. That's that counter camera angle. And straight up the inside of Perry. I don't think Perry was quite expecting it there. But we do finally have a change for the lead. I know, just hold on. Hold on, Ross. I'm trying to show a fight for the lead. Jesus. It's only my 2nd day on the job. You're sacking your own teammate from being Max Verstappen. Anyway. Let's give him his pride and glory moment as we see as Wesley decides to become the first aerial Audi R8, as we are going to go on the inside again just to see this overtake. So side by side going through turn 1, coming up to turn 2. Little argy-bargy. Asseldorn's going to take advantage of this, and Scotty's just been shown the dirt by the Corvette. Not sure if he's actually realised he was there. Corvette and Asseldorn having a good battle as the Corvette runs wide. Manix lost out to Asseldorn. Asseldorn from 13th up to 7th. A good race from him. But we're on the final lap as we got Scotty coming out the inside. We change camera angles here as Scotty gets himself up the inside. Can Manic get the drive up the hill? I don't think he can. So we'll stay with this. We'll stay with this until near the end. Until the end of this straight, and then I'll jump back up to the leaders, because the leaders I can see on the mini-map are quite close. Let's stay for just another second. Let's jump up to the leaders. As Hans sat for nearly 8 laps, but definitely 7 and 3/4 laps. Seeing the back of that beat, and he's finally had a full lap out in front, and he's made it work. He's given himself a bit of a gap to Perry. As we come around the final corner for round 2 at Lago in Italy, Hans is going to take the sprint victory with it. As Hans crosses the line P1, we got Perry in P2, Cherry with a fantastic debut and flashing his lights, well-deserved P3, Tap in P4, giving himself a clean race, Brimmer in 5th, Ross in 6th, Asseldorn 7th, Scotty 8th, Pneumanic 9th, we got Turbo in 10th, having his moment of glory, finally doing an overtake. We got Ethan in 11th, unlucky from him, as we got... What is Wesley doing? What are you doing, my friend? Interesting way to take the corner. Not exactly the quickest, but I'd give you 10 out of 10 for style. I must say. As finally Wesley finds where the track is and gets himself back going, and he comes home to finish off in 12th. Unlucky for Pyro, who was unable to yeah. Audi tyres, ROP, yes. They're not cooked. They're well done, I must say. Not cooked. Let's have a little look. Here we are. See. Well, one thing I can say, my PS4 is definitely doing a lot better than Pyro's PS5. It's downloading faster, it runs, it doesn't disconnect, currently. So, I'm not sure if the £400 or dollars or bucks, whatever you want to refer to, is actually worth the investment at the moment, but it might just be Pyro things. Now, Tout does bring up a good point. I am curious as to Wesley's strategy here. So there's 2 strategies you can do. The typical common strategies are a medium strategy, 1 stop. You'll probably stop about lap 11, lap 12-ish. Well, between lap 10 and lap 12 is probably when you'll stop. Pyro says he's resolved his issues, he should be good for now. Well, we'll see what happens in the tier 4 comms when he eventually does them. will say. Yeah, there are two strategies you can do in this race, well, the two quickest ones. Like I said, there's about a sort of pit window of lap 10 to 12 of the medium, or every 7 laps, soft tyre, which is allowed. Crucially, we're not allowed to do the soft strategy anymore. Having said that, let's go through the grid. We got Turbo in, bringing up the reverse grid, reverse pole first on softs. Umanic, I believe I can say his name right finally. I will probably be corrected very briefly. On mediums, so this could be a one stop from the Corvette, or it could just be his tyre wear is so high he needs the mediums. We got the NSX is us doing a split strategy with Scotty on the mediums. That could be interesting. So we got Asseldawn on softs, Ross on softs, Brummer on mediums, so both Corvettes doing the same strategy currently. We got Tap on mediums as well. We got the Cherry, the soft Cherry on softs. We got Cherry and Perry. Oh god, this is going to be confusing. Perry is a Cherry or Cherry is a Perry. And Perry is on softs, so both Beetles doing the same strategy, and we got the sprint race winner Hans on the soft tyre as well, with his teammate behind him on softs, and we got Wesley on mediums. Doesn't really surprise me. And Pyro isn't here because of his dead S5, which I've been told is fixed. Anyway, enough of talking shit, let's get going. I will follow Turbo through the first sector, and we'll keep an eye out for any wrongdoings. I'm not expecting much drama in this race because I haven't heard much considering my race. As we got, hold on, and whoa, we got Tap and Cherry already at it. As we got someone to who, as we got, hang on there, I'm going to skip back a second. As we got Cherry that's just done a nearly outbreak Tap, but crucially he's got the inside line for turn 2. We're just going to stay with this before we, and we've got Perry going up the inside of Tap as well. So it's a good start from Cherry and Perry, the comical pairing, not teammates, but Tap taking the loss out of it. I just want to see what's happened to Hans. Has he just outbraked himself? Oh, he's not actually realised the brake pedal does depress all the way. Never mind, anyway, let's jump back on board with Turbo. Let's jump back on board with Turbo, who leads us through the first sequence of corners. As we got, let's keep this here going. There's nothing really going on at the moment. Let's just stick with it, because obviously it's first lap shenanigans. Asseldawn trying to make up time. He's making up ground on Umanic, who's on that medium tyre. Yes, Cherry. Wow, I did make the connection quite quick. I am silly like that. Now, I'm not sure if Asseldawn's going to know that Umanic's in medium tyres, but I think he is by just the pace. And Cherry's, I think, thinking the same on his teammate Brummers. We've got Asseldawn having a look up the inside of this Corvette, going up to the banking hairpin as Asseldawn gets to move. Mostly done as that's a bit of a squeeze. Not sure if that's been to the stewards yet, but Ross takes advantage of that. And so Umanic and Ross go side by side up the hill. Ross with the softer compound tyre gets the better off. Let's just jump back a second, because there's another battle going on back here between Cherry, Perry and Brummer. I know that's a hell of a saying. Perry has gotten past Brummer. As Brummer still defending from Cherry. Currently at the moment, I don't think it's going to last too long. We'll stay with this for a little bit longer and see if Cherry has a little look up the inside at turn 1. So we've got Hans making up good ground. He's just passed Wesley in the background. Let's just stay with this for just a second longer as Cherry has a dive up the inside, doesn't make contact, which is a good thing speaking from experience. Let's jump. Oh no, we won't, we will stay here for just a couple of seconds. Brummer goes really wide through turn 3, not really setting himself up well for turn 4. Cherry looking for that switchback, I think he gets it. And he's now just about side by side as we've got Hans and Wesley side by side as well. Let's get... as Cherry overcooks it a little bit. Sorry, we're going to jump back to that. So Cherry in the 458 gets a fantastic exit, gives himself enough space to get alongside. He gets a little bit of a shaky moment going into the hairpin as Hans is going to be able to try and take advantage of that as he's going up the inside. Wesley's going to have a little look as well. Wesley's got the drive. Not quite able to do that. Cherry, slight little mistake has lost out the time and position to Hans. So let's jump forward a little bit more again and see what we can find. The good thing I did is Scotty's having a little look on Pneumanic, and Perry's gotten past Pneumanic as well. So it's medium compound tyre initially not getting off so well, but it will come in later on. Let's just stay with this for a second. And let's jump forward a little bit there. Let's have a little look at people's tyres. Turbo's tyres look really good for 2 lap. I'm not sure about Alcedon's tyres at the end of lap 2, start at lap 3. Ross's tyres look pretty good. Perry's looks pretty good. Pneumatics look very healthy. Well, they're mediums anyway. Well, we got a bit of contact here between Brummer and Hans because of the counter camera angles. We're going to jump on board as Brummer outbrakes Hans initially, but overcooks it. Hans just says, "Thank you very much, I'll take that." And we got Cherry having a little look at for the second time as well. And this time he manages to keep it a bit more tighter than last lap, but Cherry's managed to get himself the inside, and I believe there's the better exit from this camera angle. Yeah, still side by side going down, which has changed, thank you. As we got Brummer defending the inside beautifully. This time Cherry doesn't overcook it coming into this corner. I mean, it's staying with Brummer and challenging the outside of the corner going up the hill. Side by side, Brummer and Cherry still side by side, but Cherry smartly backs off, which is going to back him off into Wesley and Ethan. So, tap, I saw that in the background, you're not getting away with that. Right, let's stay with this group for just a second because I see up ahead that Hans and Scotty are at it as well. As we got Wesley defending, attacking Cherry and getting past him. Oh, what's happened here? Let's jump on board with Ethan, let's go on board, let's see what happens. So forecast battling all for 8th place at the moment. Wesley going up the inside of Cherry gives Cherry a little bit. Oh, Ethan, that's not good. I mean, I can't really say anything because I kind of did that a little bit as well. But Cherry, oh, he was going so well, now he's all the way at the back. But still, long race to go. Let's jump back forward again as Wesley holds 10th. Ethan gains a couple of spots due to that unfortunate incident. I'm just going to leave it there as we got Brummer in 8th, we got Scotty in 7th, we got Hans in 6th, who ultimately took the place, and Hans is now chasing Pneumanic for 5th position. So Hans making up good time considering he started 10th due to the reverse sprint grid. Let's stay with this battle for just a second. So I believe Hans is going to have a little go in a second. If not, he'll be having a little look at turn 5, I reckon. Let's have a little look. He's not really going to have a look, is he? No, he's not. Let's jump back because there's another couple of cars close back here as well, as we got Ethan, a teammate of Hans, slowly making his way up. Someone in the Tier 2's submissions might have to inform me if that was reported or not. I should imagine it is. We'll jump back forward to Hans and Manic. I can't pronounce the name at the moment. I did last week, I can't this week, as Hans has got an excellent drive. He's tucked himself from right up into the slipstream. Dipping down the hill, he's looking up the... perfect tap, thank you. It was, as Hans has a look up the inside, clean move done before the apex of the corner. So Hans not wasting any time at all. However, Manic is not hanging around. He's tucked right back up. He's going to have a little look at an attack, I think, as Hans. That's not how you take the corner, my friend. I'm just going to jump on board because the camera is not very good around this section of the track, and Humanic takes the place back. We're going to replay. We're actually going to go back and watch that again. So Humanic gives Hans a little bit of a shove, a little bit of a bump draft, as he just gets it slightly wrong. There's a huge tank slapper, well saved, and luckily didn't wipe anyone out or himself. As they're still side by side, coming up to the final set of corners. Still side by side. Is now going to be a drag race up to turn 1. We're going to jump on board. This time we're going to go Scotty's point of view, so we can see what's going on. Hans not having to go up in turn 1, although Humanic does run a little wide, compromising his turn 2. Let's see if Hans can make the advantage of this. We'll stay with this for just another couple of corners before we have a look up the field. No, we won't. We'll stay with this right now, as Humanic makes a little mistake. Hans is going to try and capitalise on that, I think, although that exit is not going to do him any favours. Right, let's jump back a little bit, because Ethan's finally caught to Brummer, has made a clean move this time, up the inside of a hairpin. But who is that that's just gone off at the back? Let's jump on board with Wesley. Let's see what's happened back here. So 5 laps on the medium tyre, I'm not convinced he's going to have a fun race, as this just proves. It's a huge slap of oversteer, sorry. It's making use of Wesley's slight error and going up to 10th, so Tap now back up into the top 10. Let's jump back forward again, as Ethan's driving away from Brumman now. As we got, that's the good thing I did, is we got Hans and Humanic at it again. Hans this time on the outside, just seems to, wow, fair play, driving it around the outside, late braking, not quite the exit he wanted though, so it's going to compromise him going up the hill, and it's done him bad actually. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Let's go back and re-watch that again so I can commentate that correctly without Ross distracting me with a 3-stop soft strategy on the Audi. As Hans just does a beautiful job of driving it around the outside initially, and then the inside, both drivers keeping it clean and not touching them, slamming each other into the wall, which is a good job. Right, let's jump forward. Let's see what's going on up ahead, because the top 4 haven't really been given any screen time yet. And good job, because whoa, now so Dawn, what's gone on with your tyres? What's happened here? So Ross has done a good job of cashing up Asseldorn. As Asseldorn just gets a little caught up on that curb, it's going to compromise him a bit down the straight. Let's jump on the point of view from Ross actually. We'll jump on board with Ross. Ross in the slipstream coming up to the banked hairpin. Let's see if he has a little look. He does have a look. He brakes a little bit later than Asseldorn. There's a little bit of a touch. There's a bit of a thud of contact. Yeah, I'd say it's an okay pass, but it's a pass. Ross's tyres on lap 5 are looking pretty good. Turbo's is looking very good for soft tyres. Driving consistent laps, which is good. Ross having set the fastest lap of the race. He's in chase mode, he's not on the attack, as Atodon's tyres are dead. They are gone. It would not surprise me if he looks at pitting within the next... I reckon at the end of lap 6 he's going to come in. But we will have to wait and see. Perry's tyres are just as bad, if slightly better than Atodor's, but they're worse than Ross's. But let's stick with these two for just a little bit. Yeah, Atodor's dropping off the pace. It was 2 seconds a lap. It was 2 seconds slower on that previous lap to Perry. The gap doesn't really seem to be closing, so for the time being we will leave that there and we will jump back and watch this battle unfolding back here. As Manic is still holding on to 6th position. Hans hasn't exactly driven away yet. His tyres are still quite good as Wesley. Yes, I spotted that in the background. I'm just going to jump on board here. Wesley's not having a good feature race. He's not. Oh, Wesley. You are not having a good race so far. But. Oh, Wesley. He's got damage to his front bumper. He's on lap 6 and the tyres are in the same state as some of the soft drivers up ahead. But let's go forward as Tap still holds up the top 10, keeping consistent lap times. Brummer, his tyres are a lot worse off than Tap, so have to keep an eye on them too. So we've got Ethan now on the soft tyres, chasing down the 2 medium runners of Scott and Manic. Speaking of Scott, he's having a little look up the inside of Manic, and he does it a good job. Manic looking for the switch back and the power up the hill, using that V8, hunky metal V8 up, going up the hill as he sticks around the outside and he gets the job done. So good job from that Corvette. We'll jump on board for a second. Actually, we will jump back actually, because here's Ethan. He's going a little careful. He's watching for that opening. Scott and Manic are probably a bit too focused on each other at the moment to really realise that Ethan's there. So, as we got, who's that in the pit? We got Hans, we got Aston in the pits, we got Manic in the pits as well. Interesting. Wesley, I've not even left you for half a lap. I'm not going to do it to you. As Cherry's tyres, wow, Cherry's rear tyres are dead. He might be in a similar situation. Perry reached 3rd by Assadorn pitting, I believe. Sorry, let's have a quick little look just to make sure. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm wrong. Let's have a little watch. Assadorn doesn't get the drive and just goes wide, coming out of turn 5. So there you go. That's how he reached 3rd. Anyway, let's jump back a lap forward. Let's go from here. So we've got several drivers coming in, including the medium runner of the Corvette, which I'm slightly surprised with. Not gonna lie to you. So Scott has now been promoted up to 4th, with Ethan in 5th. I'm expecting Ethan to come in this lap. I'm expecting whatever the soft runners haven't stopped to stop now. Turbo's tyres are actually really good for lap 7. Ross's tyres are very similar to what I was experiencing, same with Perry. Ethan's is still pretty good. So we've got Brummer in 6th, we've got Tap in 7th, and so we've got potentially Nets P1 in 8th. Potentially. We'll have to keep an eye on this as our Storm puts a little bit of fuel, I believe a little bit of fuel in, and some soft tyres on, so he's going for the 2-stop. Sorry, I am curious. he's gone on to the soft tyre. Interesting. Okay. I'm intrigued as to the strategy that Pneumatic's gonna do. But let's stick with this for just a second, because at the moment there seems to be the... Actually, no, I lie. These two are the closest. The two teammates. The two teammates in the German car are the closest, and Perry is having a little look on Ross, but I don't... If these two are playing it smart, which I hope they are, I think Perry's not going to really attack Ross, as might back off a little bit. So let's have a little look, sorry, up at Turbo. I reckon Turbo's going to come in, but he might be able to do another lap. Let's see, does he come in? Turbo does come in, so Turbo's coming into the pits with 50% fuel as well, so absolutely bang on, as we got the two Beetles coming in as well. Let's see, Scotty with a half a second penalty takes the current on-track P1 as Ethan comes into the pits as well. So we got Tap and Brummer. I'm going to jump on board with Tap and give Tap his moment of glory. He's slowly getting closer to Corvette. I reckon soon we could have a little look at a move up the inside. Let's just jump back initially and see what else is going on. Turbo is in his own little world, currently in 4th. Acidorn in 5th, so he has taken the lead. Well, no, he's not taking the lead, sorry, from Turbo. Turbo's just down the road. He's a couple of, I reckon about 2 seconds down the road, but crucially, he has undercut both Beetles, and by quite a margin as well. Speaking of, let's stick with this for a little bit, because we have got a good fight coming on, I reckon. The two teammates in the Beetles versus the Corvette and the Mazda. However, it looks like Perry's going to, instead of helping his teammate and defending, is going to look like he wants to attack. And speaking of attack, Hans is looking like he wants to attack, as he's going to attack with the Corvette before the Corvette can attack. So let's see how this goes. Hans has a little look up the inside, gets the drive, but Hans is not in the slipstream compared to that Corvette, as Perry gets past Ross. Hans gets... What's happened? Okay, hold on, let's go back a second. Let's jump on board with Hans' point of view. So Perry has a look up the inside of Ross. Ross doesn't really defend. Here comes Hans, and Hans gives Ross an almighty push, saying, here, have 6th again. As Hans gets past Pneumatic in the banked hairpin. Both Beetles on very similar fuel as well, pretty much identical fuel as well, which is good. I'm going to jump back on board, sorry, because this camera angle over here is not good. Now looking further up ahead, Tap still hasn't quite gotten past Brummer. We're going to wait until this corner's gone, and then we're going to jump over to that battle. No, we won't, and Pneumatic's got a launch and a bit up on that final corner. He's now going alongside Hans. Hans having to slightly defend, who both break about the same sort of time. Pneumatic gets a lid at the inside and gives Hans a little shove on. That's... yeah, go careful with that, because that could be reported and that could hamper you later. But Hans having a look up the... sticking his nose up the inside of turn 4, unable to make anything work there. Let's jump ahead forward and see what's going on up here. As we got Tap a little squiggly coming out, so this is going to give Turbo Boy a potential run around the outside of the S. The S is up here, and it does. Turbo going around the outside of the corner. I never really thought you could overtake her. And taking 3rd, so at the moment he is our net race leader currently. And he's also getting Brummer as well. Brummer just doesn't seem to be able to get the exit speed that the Turbo can on those brand new set of fresh soft tyres. Although Brummer's sticking it around the outside, potentially looking for that switchback, it doesn't happen. So Scotty and Turbo, the two teammates in the... Hang on, I just spotted something. Let's jump back a second. What have we spotted back here? So Perry and Ross going side by side into the hairpin. I'm more interested in what's going on back here, as Hans is going on the inside of Pneumatic and actually makes it work this time without catapulting Ross ahead. Perry's overtaken Ross at the hairpin as well, but Ross isn't done quite yet. He's still there. He's going to give his teammate a good run for his money. These two need to fight each other a little bit less and push forward if they want to catch up with the rest of the pack and drop Hans, our sprint race winner. Perry seems to have had a better couple of corners there than Ross did, so let's just jump forward a little bit because we have got ourselves a battle over here. As Brummer comes into the pits, Tap stays out. Here comes Asseldorn up the inside. Tap gives him the squeeze right out to the pit wall, and unfortunately loses out to that soft tyre on the Porsche. Let's jump back a little bit further as we've still got these guys all still in the same positions. Yeah, there is a huge difference in worn softs and, well, worn mediums, sorry, and I say brand new. Couple of lap old soft tyres. There's a huge difference. Now, we did miss this though. We did miss, well, whether it was team orders and these two swapping places, or did Scotty make a mistake? I don't quite know. Let's have a watch for a second. It's Turbo. Yeah, well, I think it might have been team orders. Which is well done to Scotty for playing the team game. Fair play. Your teammate's faster, so hold him up whilst you can. That's a strategy Berta and I did use last season. Hence why Deco hates the Peugeot now. Let's have a little look further back and see if we got anything going on. Currently we don't. Stay with us for the next couple of corners and we'll have a little look at who's where further back. Hans seems to have gotten a better exit than Ross coming out of those S's going onto this back straight. We'll stay with Hans for the time being. I think Hans might have a little look up the inside. He's trying. His nose was there, but Ross didn't give him any room at all. Ross said, no, my corner, go away. So, speaking of go away, we got Perry and Tap having a little battle up here as well. The two Americans at it. And Perry just throws it up the inside, much fresher soft tyres compared to 10 lap old mediums, and Perry with the fastest lap as well. So Tap starting to struggle a little bit now. I'm expecting the medium tyres between now and lap 12 to come in. So let's see. So Tap stays out crucially. So he goes up to the pit side wall and he's defending his spot quite well from Ross, but Ross on that brand new soft tyre just drives it around the outside, and Tap's been dispositioned for Hans to go up the inside and Pneumatic as well. So Tap in the series of 1, 2, 3, about 3 or 4 corners has lost himself 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So yeah, not good for Tap at the moment. And speaking of not good, Perry's having a little look on Scott. We did miss the Asseldorn and Scott overtake. Oh, Scott, that's not the racing line, my friend. So Perry and Ross go through, and Scott and Hans are now having a battle, and we are 3 wide going up to the... Oh my, hang on, I want to watch this again. Let's see if Tap has got a good... Let's see if Tap got a good view of this, as we're going 3 wide, pretty much 3 wide up to the S's, and it's almost like a Mika Hakkinen and a Michael Schumacher moment on Spa. And Scott is just losing momentum in time, because here comes Tap. We'll jump on the other camera right now, because to actually no, we won't. We'll jump on board actually, because Tap has gotten himself a monster run compared to Scotty. Although the top speed of that NSX is now starting to show itself, as they both break about at the same time still, side by side going through the corner. Tap still has got his car ahead, but Scotty's still got his nose. They're going side by side up this hill. We're going to stay in this camera angle because the following cinematic camera in this area is terrible. And Scotty holds the position, which is crucial for Scotty's race. Let's stay with this for just another second. Good job we did, because Tap just seems to have found the inside line with so much more grip compared to Scott, and Scott just seems to have understeered a little bit there. Like, that'll explain his tyres are dead. That would explain. So is Scotty gonna come in? Scotty comes in. Tap stays out for one more lap. I reckon he's gonna pit this lap. I reckon. So let's stay with this for a time being, as Ross and Hans are now having a battle for 4th position. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at their lap. No, that's the wrong way. Let's have a look at their lap times. So 56.8 last lap for Hans, and we got 56.7 for Ross. Mediums versus soft don't work if you're on medium. Well, yes, obviously. Mediums is not a good idea to battle a soft tyre on unless you're running an extremely long stint, I reckon. Right, we'll stay with this until the hairpin. We'll see if Hans has gotten himself another fantastic exit. We'll jump on board with him, actually. Let's just having a look at his tyres. The tyres on that Mazda aren't looking that great compared to the Beetle. The Beetle can probably go another, maybe extend a little bit. So Hans doesn't have a look. So let's have a little look through the rest of the field, as we got Tap in 7th. We got Ethan in 8th. We got Brummer in 9th on the soft tyre as well. So Brummer pitted on lap 9 and he's gone soft, so I'm interested to see what he's going to do with that. Scotty with the 3-second time penalty for going over the pit line has gone to a soft tyre as well. So you're going to try and make the soft tyre last 9 laps as Wesley goes charging through on a brand new set of mediums who stopped on lap 6. He's been doing consistent laps currently. Let's see what happens as we got Cherry unfortunately in plumb last after having a huge mistake, or an incident earlier, I should say. Stopped on lap 6 for the set of mediums. Looking at his times, and he's doing average times, and he's got tons of life left on that medium as Tap does come in. So we got Turbo out ahead doing very, very consistent times. We got Perry in 2nd. We got Asadorn on dead soft, so he'll be coming in, I reckon, at the end of this lap if he wants to keep up and potentially try and undercut the Beatles again. As we got Hans has gotten past Ross. That's something that I did miss, so let's jump back and have a little look at what happened. So coming into the final corner, does Hans just get the drive? Let's have a little watch and find out. As Hans has a look up the inside, Ross doesn't defend it at all. Ross goes wide onto the grass. Ross, that's not where you want to be, and Hans just says thank you very much, I'll take that, and I'll go and get your teammate. So Ross is now going to stick with, I reckon he's going to stick with Hans and try and fight that position back and try and delay Hans a little bit more, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. He does have the tyre advantage, so let's have a little look. He does have a little look up the inside. He shows his nose in the mirror of that Mazda and seems to have gotten a slightly better drive, so we'll stick with these two for the time being. Ross is all over the back of that Mazda. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he thinks. That might have been a penalty, Ross. That might have been a bit too far up the inside. Looks like you've got away with it currently. Tap right into the slipstream of that Mazda. He has a look, but Hans shuts the door. I say shuts, slams the door in Ross's face, and unfortunately Ross isn't able to make the move up here currently, as I've just spotted that Perry has got acid on, so we will check on that in a second. I just want to see the outcome of the Hans versus Ross battle for 4th position. Although Asseldorn's getting dragged into this right now, as he just doesn't have any pace at all on this lap. So Hans managed to get a little bit of extra time over Ross in this part of the lap. So Hans and Asseldorn pit. As we got Pneumatic on the dead set of softs versus Ross on a less dead set of softs. So both drivers will be coming in this lap, as we got Perry way out ahead of his teammate and Turbo doing turbo things. Alright, let's have a little look through the field. Let's see what we got. I think these two might be the closest at the moment. Pneumatic taking a slightly different line to try and get the slight overspeed on Ross. Ethan is finally up into the top 5 with Brummer on a decent run from him. As we got Asseldorn in 7th, who got a slightly better stop than, or a slightly faster stop I should say, than Hans from the looks of things. So Hans put in a bit more fuel. So whether the Mazda's a little bit more thirsty than the Porsche, we will find out. As we got tap on a set of soft tyres, so we'll see what he can do with that. As we got Scotty on a set of soft tyres as well. So Scotty stopped 1 lap before Tap, so Tap is going to have a 1 lap advantage over Scotty. As we got Wesley in the pits as well, and let's keep an eye on that as Cherry goes up into 11th. So finally Cherry's not last. It's still an unfortunate case that he is at the back, so we'll give him a little bit of screen time for just a second before we go back up in front. As Wesley puts another set of mediums on, this will go to the end of the race now. As here comes Turbo for his final stop, and he timed that beautifully with the fuel. And here comes Perry as well, Ross will as well. So Perry having a fuel advantage over Ross. Ross having a lot less fuel, so is that Corvette. Now is Brummer going to go on, or is he going to stop? He's going to go on, so he might stop it. He's going to have to stop a little later for fuel. Here comes Ethan with 2 dead front tyres and a lot of fuel left as well. Asseldorn is obviously going to go on, and so is Hans. So I'm curious as to where Turbo. So Turbo's coming out, and Perry's out as well, and here comes Asseldorn now with Hans going up the inside of turn 1 and gets the move done. So crucially, these two undertake Ross. However, they weren't quite able to go and get Perry, as these two are still battling it out going through turn 3, coming up to turn 4. Asseldorn not giving up yet. He's right at the back of that Mazda. He's running it a little extra wide to try and get that extra speed. Come on, camera switch, thank you. As Asseldorn has a little look up the inside, as Hans just seems to lock the rear axle just a little bit, and there's a little squiggly coming out of there as well, which isn't going to help him at all. Hans is going to be allowed to go alongside. We're going to jump on board for this. I said jump on board at the wrong time. And so we'll stay with this for another little bit. We'll see if Asseldorn can have a little look going out the inside whilst we're waiting. I'm going to have a little drink. No, he's not quite close enough. I don't think so. Actually, I will stay with this now, because Asseldorn has gotten the drive going up the hill. Has done a beautiful job defending his position, sitting right in the middle of the track. No one's been pushed out. Well, never mind. I hush my horses as Asseldorn has a little look around the outside. Not able to get the move done, so these two having a really hard fight, but this is bringing Ross into the picture, so I'm curious as to the times as Brummer pits. So Brummer's in the pits to go on to his final set of tyres and probably refuel. So they did a 56.9, Ross did a 55.7, but that was with pit time as well. Pneumatic did a 54.5, so Pneumatic's not hanging around either. He's after Ross. He wants that top 5 position. So we'll jump back on board with Acedorn for the minute, because these two are a lot closer for the time being. And let's jump back, because I see another cluster of cars back here as we got Tap still ahead of Scotty and slowly increasing that gap, although Tap did lose out a little bit to him at the moment. That previous lap. Acedorn unable to make anything of that at the moment. Excuse me. So let's see what sort of exits people get for going down the straight. We'll jump on board with this fight for the final place of the podium for the time being. We got Turbo in first, we got Perry in second, not far behind Turbo. Turbo's still got a little bit of pressure to make sure he keeps everything clean and going. We're going to jump back here because Ross is in holding off Pneumatic for the top 5. As these two are now the closest cars on track and battling it out for the final for the top 5 position. That might have been a penalty there. I think he got away with that. That's a counter camera angle. Let's jump on board with the Corvette because it's a better camera angle in general. Let's see, Ross kisses the dirt a little bit, goes a little bit wider. Let's see what this Corvette can do. As Ross goes defensive on the inside, Pneumatic goes alright, has a look around the outside, which I don't think is going to work, so he's going to look for the switch back on Ross, but it's through turn 1, coming up to turn 2, as we hear a little tyre squeal ahead. We'll have come to that in a minute. Ross still keeps his position, so good defending from Ross, but goes a little wide in turn 3. And gets a good exit coming out of turn 4, but so does Pneumatic. Will jump ahead up to this fight up here between the Porsche and the Mazda for the podium position. As Hans is off into the Hans, what have you done? So Hans turns in. He's still turning, he's just understeered off into the grass. Oh, that's not going to be any good. And he still keeps the 3rd place though. So Acedorn not going to try and maybe take an advantage of that. Hans has to do a bit of a lift there since he has dirty tyres, so Acedorn's going to have the momentum. We're going to jump on board with him and see what he can do, as Ross does a defensive shake early in the background, as Hans is forced to go around the outside of this banked hairpin. Let's stay with this for just a second before we jump back to Ross. Ross defending the inside really well, denying that switch back, although the drive up the hill seems to be going the Corvette's way, as we will jump back to that near overtake in just a second. Cherry, I will read your message in a minute, because I have just missed the Corvette going around Ross. So the Corvette got the inside on that section up. Ross has just hit the grass and tapped the wall. Although Ross is not done, he's had a little look at the inside, unable to make anything out of that. So Manic up into 5th, Ross down to 6th. Let's have a jump forward and see what Acedorn can do to Hans. Hans being able to pull away a little bit every single time from drivers in this final sector. Alright, let's jump forward. So we got Perry doing big laps from Perry, 155.1s on 2 laps back to back, so good laps, big laps from him, and he's taking huge times out of Turbo responding well. They're doing a 55.5, one of his best lap currently so far. But with about 3 laps left of the race, I'm not sure, unless Turbo Boy makes a mistake, I'm not sure if Perry's going to be able to make anything out of that. As we still got Hans in third, made a bit of a gap to Asseldon, so maybe Asseldon's tyres has dropped off significantly now. So I'm not sure what Asseldon's going to make of that. However, Pneumatics tyres are still very good, so we could have a potential fight for the top 4 here with the Porsche. And we've got Ross in 6th. We're going looking further back. We've got Tapp in 7th. Again, slowly pulling away from Scotty, who's now on dead soft tyres, so he's going to struggle for the final series of laps. So we've got Ethan in 9th, still with a healthy set of tyres. We've got Brummett in 10th, have to make that late lap 15 pit stop. So maybe a slight miscalculation on his side. I'm not too sure. So we got Wesley in 12th, who's made another pit stop in lap 15 to put a set of soft tyres on, and those softs are nearly, wow, the Audi R8 chews through them, as Cherry has to make another pit stop for a set of soft tyres. So Cherry not having the greatest of debut feature races here, which is a shame because he did so well in the sprint. I reckon he could be a very good driver to watch in the sprint races. I reckon he's going to struggle a little bit in the feature races. So that gap between Perry with a 1 second penalty. You were going so well. Well, that's just handed Turbo the race win unless he makes an mighty cock up. Let's have a little look back here, because this is where the closest gaggle of cars are at the moment. As we've got Pneumatic that just seems he's all over the back of that Porsche already. I was expecting this not to really happen for Pneumatics to be close enough till sort of after the hairpin, but hush my mouth. He's all over the back of Asseldon onto the back straight. Is Asseldon going to have a little shake defensive early, or is he going to stay where he is? He's going to stay where he is. I think I wouldn't say he's admitted defeat, but I think he realises that Corvette is just going to be quicker than him. As Asseldon brakes a little bit earlier than that Corvette, looks for the switchback, and there's a little touch there as they're going side by side up the hill. This seems to be a popular place for overtaking for Tier 2, as Hans is now just being gifted 3rd position with ease, and Pneumatic does a beautiful overtake through the S's. As we got, who's that? Who's off? Let's have a little look of who's. Oh, it's Wesley. I think Wesley's just pulled over to let him through. I'm not quite sure. Or is he actually? Hang on, let's have a little look. What's happened to you, Wesley? Sorry, 2 seconds. We're going back. Evening, and yes, you are a bit late, not just a bit, as we're on very near the end of the stream. Wesley just loses it all by himself. Oh, he's having a horrible race, an absolute horrible one. And I'm going to give this to Cherry. Cherry's going to have a shining glory moment as he overtakes Wesley, who's just, yeah, he's not having a good race so far. So we'll stay on board because I spotted something else as well. I want to see what's happened. And yeah, Wesley being the gentleman and still losing it at a slow speed. I'm impressed. Romain Grosjean would be impressed. He did this at Baku, if everyone remembers. Being the good gentleman and the good sportsman, he's letting everyone by. So Wesley, you may be having a terrible race, but well done for not ruining anyone else's. Good job, even though. Anyway, moving further up the field, as I seem to get the incorrect. There we go. Yes, I see what you mean. Tab Hemar cars plus 1 tyres equals death every corner. Yep. So Hans is, I'd probably say, comfortably in P3 at the moment. We've got Pneumatic in 4th. We got Asadorn in 5th on dead tyres, with Ross with so much more healthier tyres having a look up the inside of turn 4 of that Porsche, and he not quite gets the move done. The Porsche uses all the road and a little bit extra that he's allowed to use to try and get the drive against that Beetle. But Ross, whoa, Asadorn, you just touched the grass and gone wide at the hairpin, unlucky. You're having a good battle with Ross, then you're gonna have a hard lap to follow now. As we got Tap in 7th, still with some good tyres left as well, and he's managed to make a very comfortable gap to Scotty in 8th, who's now on dead tyres, who's got Ethan behind him on a lot fresher tyres. So we'll stay with this for a minute, just to see if Ethan can make anything of this into the hairpin, whilst we're waiting to get to the hairpin. No, he's not quite able to make anything up in that hairpin, but he's got seems to get a little bit of extra drive out of the hairpin corner. I see, Tap. Yeah, I mean, if I saw a driver spin off wide or get brutally murdered, I would push personally, as we've got Ethan all over the... What's happened here, Ethan? Let's jump on board. For a second I spot something up ahead in P3 as well, so we will jump onto that in a second. As Ethan takes... Oh, there's a massive snap of oversteer, very similar to what he had twice in the sprint races. That's not the ideal race in the line, and he's got a 1 second time penalty, so Scotty's now got 8th position pretty much secured. This might bring Broome, if he doesn't do that, this might bring Broome in. However, I want to know what's gone on up here, because I spotted something. So Hans with pretty much dead rears, I think I see what happens. He just goes really wide, hits that sausage curb, and Pneumatic says thank you very much, I'm going to have the 3rd position, as Hans tries to have a little look up the inside of turn 1, but it's not going to work. Here he's a bit too far back, as we're on the final lap of this race. Even though Perry's had that 1 second penalty, he's not far off Turbo, but Turbo's still got a comfortable lead. He can just cruise control this going into the final couple of sectors. We're going to stay with this for just a second though. We'll see if there's anyone close enough for a battle. I'm interested to see who gets 6th at the moment, because Asadorn's on dead tyres and Tap's not far off behind him, but is a lot better shape. I mean, that previous lap was a 2:02 for Asadorn and a 1:57 for Tap. So yeah, there's quite a significant difference. Speaking of, it's noticeable here on the mini map, and going through the corners, Tap able to carry so much more speed than Asadorn. So we will stay here for a second, because I've spotted there's a couple of cars very close just up ahead. Let's just have a little look here. It's just going to be one of his last opportunities. He doesn't quite have a look up here, although he's looking at the switchback. He's alongside the Porsche right now, and Tap goes around the outside and gets the move done. Sorry, I don't need to rush this, but I'm going to go up to the front. He's led since lap 1. It's been his race to lose, and he's controlled it beautifully throughout the whole thing. Turbo comes around the final corner to take victory in the feature race at Lago. We got Perry doing Perry things, coming into 2nd place, and we got Pneumatic with a beautiful drive in 3rd. We got Hans just hanging on to 4th. Right now we got Ross in 5th, and I'm betting his mind's going, if we had one more lap I would get him. As we got Tap in 6th position. Well, good job from Tap, good race from Tap. Asadorn in 7th with all dead tyres, completely dead. We got Broome in 8th. We got past Scott in the end. Actually, we're going to go back and have a look at this actually. When you go back a bit further, Scotty on all 4 dead pretty much all 4 tyres gone at this point, and Brummer with tons of tyres to use in the final 3 corners. He goes up the inside of that NSX, gives him the space, gives him the room going around the penultimate, second to last corner. Scotty not quite able to keep up going through the final corners. Brummer takes 8th position from Scotty. With Scotty in 9th, we got Scotty in 9th, we got Ethan in 10th, we got Cherry all the way back going through here in 11th, and we got Wesley a bit further up the road in 12th. Yep, Wesley comes through over the line to finish, unfortunately lapped in the last place. He had a bit of a hard race due to his tyres as Cherry comes around the bank hairpin for the last time. As that V10 sounds glorious in its home, I say it's home race, kind of, it's in Italy. As we come around the final couple of corners, I must say, the livery does look nice, it does look very cool. I would never have expected someone to put a Lotus livery on a Ferrari. But it's things, it happens, as Cherry is the last car racing on track, comes through to take P11. So, overall, good race. Everyone here, let me just find the standings. Here we are. So, tier 2. There has been, now have a slight change. I say slight. We have a change in the drivers' championship. We have Perry in first position with Pneumatic in second, Hansen third, Tap in 4th, and Turbo in 5th. So we have got 5 different cars all in the top 5 of the Drivers' Championship. And with Ross's comment, all the top 4 drivers are separated by 6 points. So it's going to be a very, very interesting next couple of rounds, with the Corvettes in first place on the Constructors' Championship at the moment. 1 point behind is the Beatles. So again, next race could be, I know it's only round 2, but it could be a very interesting one, with the Mazdas in third, rounding off the top 3. So yeah, overall, really good race actually, I will admit. I'm looking forward to Daytona. I know Hans is going to miss Daytona, and I'm gutted I'm missing Daytona as well. It's one I really, really want to race. But we will see if it makes a return next season. But I have been the Maddle Guns. This has been round 2 of tier 2, and I will see you all next week.